Hello everyone and welcome back to Angels franchise. In the last episode, the Angels started out 4-3 here in year number 2, and it's looking like mostly the same team but with different problems. With the acquisitions made in the offseason, we're clearly a bit better on defense, but we were lacking significant contact. So kind of what I expect to happen this season is that maybe the games are a bit lower scoring, but we'll struggle to put up as many runs. And you may not be surprised to hear that Mike Trout is already beginning to regress. So now we're going to set up the trade block for this season. Taylor Ward is a guy I fully expect to be moving off of by the deadline. We'll also be fielding offers for Mickey Moniak and Luis Torrens, but we'll see what we need to do trade-wise when it comes to the deadline. In today's episode, we're going to get started with scouting. I believe the very first scouting is going to be this Sunday against Arizona. Positions of need this season are mostly the same. Starting pitching is something we could always use more depth at. I'd like to add a left-handed reliever specifically. After the guys at the majors, we basically only have right-handers down the farm system. Adding a first baseman, maybe not the worst idea either. There's not much depth past Nolan Schanuel. And then to be honest, the infield in general, second base and third base specifically, are positions we could use more prospects at. And then of course the outfield. It was an absolute whiff on Kevin Vasquez. Maybe in the future Vasquez isn't going to be a bad player, but he's never going to be elite. And we took him with the number 2 overall pick, which just feels like an absolute waste. So let's go ahead and sim this series versus the Diamondbacks, and we immediately get an opportunity to hop in. So last season, I was kind of the king of blowing saves for Ben Joyce. Let's see if that trend continues here in year number 2, or if Ben Joyce is a bit more solid in my hands. This is a grounder to Neto. Can we get the runner at second? We do. Lopez to first, but he's safe. Perdomo beating out the throw. So a fielder's choice at second, only one more out to go. Faces Ketel Marte, one of the best second basemen in all of baseball. This is pop to left center. Should be no problem for Taylor Ward, and it isn't. So the Halos get a victory, and I don't blow a save for Ben Joyce. Looks like Taylor Ward off to a hot start yet again, so his trade stock is going to be quite high. Neto, on the other hand, is cold as can be, batting a 100 to start the season, and that ends up being a win for Aaron Ashby. Kahanowicz was the man on the mound to start the day, went 5 with only 1 run earned. Oh, and Kahanowicz was actually injured in that game, but we'll just keep him active. Does not look serious. We've actually won 2 in a row against Arizona for a total of 4 straight victories for the Angels. 6-3 to start the season. And before we get started in scouting, here are my scouts for this season. Got Kevin Velez as our top scout, good at pretty much everything, but we'll specifically be using him to scout position players primarily. There's Jacob Vigil, also extremely efficient and is mostly a pitcher scout. And then Victor Tunick will be our primary discovery scout. So here is what the board looks like. The number 1 player is shortstop Jason Everett. We pick 9th, so we are not going to be looking for him. Most likely he will almost certainly be gone. So I'll have to go a bit further down the board. We can always scout these guys just in case they fall. If we're looking for specifically third baseman, there's only 2 projected to go in the top 10 in Espinosa and David Murillo. But there is Eric J, who is 18. Obviously, we haven't really scouted him yet, but he projects to be a very good fielder with a strong arm and has big time power against righties, but perhaps is a little bit weaker elsewhere. There's also Lou Batista immediately following him. Maybe a little bit more balanced everywhere else, more of a contact guy rather than a power guy, not as good of a fielder. So to start out the season, Kevin Velez is going to be scouting third baseman in the East. He will gain 15% scouting per week there. We will also be scouting starting pitching in the Central region, and then we will also be discovering pitchers in the Central region. I don't know if this makes a difference, so let me know in the comments, but I am going to have the Discover New Prospect Scout as the number 1 priority. So can the Angels sweep the Diamondbacks? Yes, they can. That's a good baseball team we just swept. We are 7-3 to start the year. First win on the season for Caden Dana as well. He did allow 4 walks in this one, so the team almost won kind of in spite of his performance. Now a series versus the Dodgers with Shohei Ohtani starting, and we get to jump in. Mickey Moniak is a home run away from the cycle. Bottom of the 8th, the Angels up 8-3. What is going on in Los Angeles right now? Mickey Moniak, a power swing away from the cycle. Gonna look to, of course, get in a good count, as that might have been the best one I'll see all AB. Moniak will swing and miss on the sweeper. No cycle for him. Probably would have gotten it had I not stepped in. I suck. And now we're looking to end the game with Aaron Ashby. 2 runners on, Mookie Betts at the plate. Actually, we are playing as Mickey Moniak for what could be the final out. This is well struck to left field. Taylor Ward on his way to get there, and he will do just that. Game over. Angels beat the Dodgers, who I saw had won 9 straight to start the season. Is this Angels team maybe sneaky good this season? Here's the box score. Nolan Shawnoa with 3 RBIs on just 1 hit, which was his 2nd home run of the season. Trout with a couple more hits. He's batting a .283. Neto with a couple hits. Good to see him getting in on the action. Adell's average is pretty good. Did not get a hit in this one. Moniak is batting a .364 to start the year. Disgusting. So the Angels are on a 6-game winning streak. Can they beat the Dodgers again? No, they do finally lose against the Dodgers 3-15. As a matter of fact, John Means getting the loss. Sooner or later, we are going to have to address that Jack Kahanowicz has D potential. I think it's like a 68 or 69, so he may always be solid, but where he is currently is the best he's ever going to be. We may want to consider including him in a trade in the future, perhaps. And we do lose 2 in a row to the Dodgers, the better LA team. They're 11-2 to start the season. We're 8-5 though. We're hanging around. If we look at the standings early on, the Rangers kind of running away with it already. They are 10-2. The Astros looking like themselves again this season, 9-2. And the Mariners, coming off the World Series appearance, are 5-8. Still stupid early. Take everything with a grain of salt. So now we jump into a game against the Marlins. A runner on third, 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th, and we are down a run. Mickey Moniak, who is probably our best bat so far this season, is coming to the plate. He's 2 for 2 on the day, batting above a .350 currently. Moniak has a 3-1 hitters count. He definitely has the green light if it's a pitch to hit. And it was. He pops it to left field just behind third base. And we will get no runs to come across in the 8th. And with that, the Marlins will take the victory, 5-4 the final. Another bad outing from Quijada. It's getting to the point where I think I might release him. Jose Quijada last year was bad. 4 ERA, a 1.62 whip. And he's been even worse so far this year. He's a 75 overall. He's only 30. So I know he has quite a bit of value. We could trade him. But I think if you're looking at this from a realism standpoint, I don't think there's a team that would take him the way he's been playing these last couple of seasons. Hopefully he turns it around. We're going to leave him be for now, but he's costing us games. So 3 losses in a row. The Angels quickly approaching 500 again. The Red Sox are offering us a trade. They're sending 31-year-old Lucas Giolito for Luis Torrens. He is a loner. He'll be a free agent after this season. Who knows what kind of money he's looking for, currently making about 20 million. If I truly felt like we were looking to compete this season, I would probably take this trade. The Red Sox are super desperate for a catcher, their top guy being a 65 overall. So I can see why they're trying to make this trade. And they're also very deep in terms of starting pitching, where Giolito would be a top 5 guy for us. He's only barely top 10 for the Red Sox. So we might look at this trade down the road, but the whole point of getting Torrens was to allow Ricardo Perez basically another year or 2 to develop. So it would feel like a waste to trade him away already. We've got him for fairly cheap on 2 years, and he's a pretty solid catcher. But we'll remember this trade if we get to the deadline and we look like a team that could maybe make a playoff run. So we do break the 3-game skid by beating Miami in game number 2, and now we get to do some more scouting. And we did discover 4 pitching prospects. Let's look at recently scouted. So Eric J has immediately shot up our board. He goes from draft rank 23 MLB board to draft rank 9 for the Angels, which just so happens to be where we pick. And we also found a starting pitcher in the Central in Juan Chavez, and he looks really solid. He's a guy that we discovered. He's only 18, could have really good potential. So this week, the only thing we're changing is that we are going to have our Discovery Scout look for infielders internationally, and I will likely be doing Discovery until maybe the last couple weeks of scouting. For now, we're going to continue to scout starting pitchers centrally, and we do end up taking this series versus the Marlins. We're 10-6 to start the season. A series versus the Twins who now have, by the way, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who absolutely went off against us. 4 hits, 5 RBIs. We lose game number 2 to Minnesota 0-2. Couldn't even get a run on the board. And now we've got an opportunity for a save again for Ben Joyce, who has walked 2 runners on. Marcell Ozuna, now a Twin also. Man, this roster is actually kind of loaded. Joyce, this is really the main issue he has. He does tend to have some walks. Runner in scoring position for a dangerous man at the plate. Swings and fouls off the slider. 2-2 pitch on its way from Joyce. Hits 100, which is actually kind of slow for Ben. Ozuna continuing to foul off pitches. Swings through the sinker, though. Strike 3. And Ben Joyce will get the save. And it's a win for Joey Lucchesi. So this road stretch continues in Cincinnati, and we've got another opportunity to hop in. Taylor Ward has 2 home runs already. This is not important enough for me to jump in here. The Reds actually beat us by 10. Starter in this game was Caden Dana. He has a 7 ERA, and it's probably about time to send him back down. Reed Detmers is pitching super well at AAA right now, by the way. He started 4 games as a 1.57 ERA and a .91 whip. Meanwhile, Caden Dana has 4 starts now at the majors, 7 ERA and a 1.92 whip. So I think it's pretty obvious that Caden Dana needs to be sent back down. So we are going to use up one of his minor league options here, send him back down to AAA, and promote Reed back up. This is basically exactly what I wanted to happen. Reed was just so bad in spring training. I did not want him to just immediately be with the major league team. So now second game at Cincinnati, and we're looking to keep the lead safe with Connor Brogdon. It's Jonah Bride at the plate. Looks at ball 1. Then he looks at ball 2 as the fastball just misses. This will be grounded to Neto at short to Lopez and doubled up. 6-4-3 double play for the Halos. Brogdon pretty much already out of the scary situation, but now he's missing with the circle change. Grounder to second. Lopez should be no problem, and it isn't. That'll end the 8th inning. The Angels get away unscathed. And a victory. And it looks like Quijada is the man who gets credited with the dub. We'll see how he performed. He is on thin ice right now. 1 inning pitch, 2 strikeouts, no walks for Quijada. That's exactly what we want. And Trout staying healthy so far this season, knock on wood, and batting pretty well at .278 to start the season. And even more scouting has been done. Juan Chavez looks very good. He has jumped all the way to 11th after discovering him. 68 to 96 potential, 44 to 72 starting overall. He is a righty, throws a 4-seamer slider changeup splitter. He's not particularly elite in any department, but he's pretty good in every department. I really like Juan Chavez quite a bit, actually. And I love the fact that he is a discovered prospect. That means that we could maybe even get him in like the 2nd or 3rd rounds, and then potentially snag a guy like Eric J in the 1st round with our 9th overall pick. I love the fielding from Eric. He does play a secondary position of shortstop. Nice that he does have a secondary position at all. And he's got great power versus righties. So for this week, we're going to go a little bit more specific. Scout Juan Chavez straight up and Eric J straight up. And our Discovery Scout did discover another good player, this time internationally, in 3rd baseman Joey Blake. And wow, Joey Blake looks really good in terms of contact, at least. Not a big power guy. Vision could be good in the future. Discipline's already really good. Obviously, this is with 10% scouting, so he may not be the best, but we've got options. So can we win the series versus the Reds? Actually, yes, we can. We're 13-9, so we're still hovering above 500. 2.5 games back of the Astros, who are now the #1 team in the AL West. And we're only a half game back of the Rangers in the wild card. And we're going to be hopping into a minor league game here with the Rocket City Trash Pandas, one of the best names in all of sports. And the reason we're hopping in here is I want to show you guys the starting pitcher prospect Dave Williams. He was our 2nd round pick. I do want from time to time to do a prospect spotlight like this. So here is Dave Williams. He's got great stamina immediately, and his potential is a high B. I believe it's an 86 or possibly even an 87. And he's already a 65 overall. He's had 3 starts. I know it says 4 starts. This one is his 4th. 18.2 innings pitched, 2.41 ERA, 1.29 whip, and he is very close to being major league ready. Let's just be honest. He was an absolute steal in the 2nd round. So as much as we maybe missed on Kevin Vasquez, Dave Williams looks like he could be pretty good. So let's see what he can do with our AA affiliate. First pitch of the series for Dave Williams is a cutter that just finds the zone. He throws a cutter, a splitter, a 12-6 curve, a slider, and a circle change. So a lot of off-speed stuff and not big on the fastball. Curveball has a decent amount of movement, it looks like. Big concern with Dave right now is that he just does not have strikeout stuff at all. So he's going to be pitching to contact. See if he can hopefully find that strikeout stuff in the future. As see even this player's making contact on that pitch. And this is going to be a continuous problem, I think. even just the first batter he faces. He's having to give a lot of pitches. It's a good thing he has great stamina, as this is actually going to get through the infield past the second baseman, Christian Moore. And it's a leadoff single for Gregory Berrios. So it's just going to be a matter of getting weak contact, getting grounders that can actually be fielded. This one is right back at Dave, and he will go second and on to first, safe at first. So nearly a double play. Some good fielding there from Dave. Also, Dave Williams got to just be the most generic name ever. And if you didn't see it, he's Canadian. So he was an international signing, not from the States. But that was kind of his bread and butter. Weak contact, back into the infield. And once again, he's going to do the same thing. And he gets the double play this time. So a good solid first inning for Dave Williams. On to the bottom of the second, no run support for Dave yet. Once we start to get more of these prospects in, maybe like once an episode, we'll take a peek at how a guy is doing in the minors. And I think Dave Williams is the most intriguing so far of the prospects that we have personally acquired. We have a couple guys with higher potential like Brian Julio and Reggie Jenkins, the catcher, but they have a long ways to go before they are MLB ready. Whereas Dave Williams could maybe start for like the Rockies, whose pitching rotation, as we know, is absolutely horrendous. Been a nice solid second inning for Dave so far. Left that one hanging right down the middle. That was cracked to left center, hits the base of the wall. That's going to be a stand-up double for Dominic Keegan. But 2 gone in the inning, so as long as he can get this man out, should be no problem. Come on, ump. What is that call? I also may do some live streams in the future of playing these games with the minor league guys and just seeing how they perform as Dave gets out of the second. On to the third. Still no run support for Dave. Contact into right field. Is that going to stay fair? No, it's into foul territory. I'm recording this very late at night, so if I sound a little bit less hype than normal, that would just be because I'm trying not to wake my neighbors. Homer Bush. What a name. Williams. So we're looking to get another double play ball. So far, the splitter has been money for that. Oh, wow, that is hit pretty well opposite field, but not going to be able to advance the runner. 1 gone now here in the third. And that is left hanging. He's not hitting the cutter super well right now. It's kind of just been all over the place. That's a really good one and gets the call on the edge of the zone. And now we'll go for the slider. Have it break even a little bit further. Oh my God, stop hanging the pitches. The cutter will be hit to short. And that is caught. We're in the 30s, only thrown 37 pitches, so it's actually not as bad as I maybe would have expected. Feels like a lot of these ABs are going pretty long, however. Baker, opposite field again, and that one is caught in the air. So 3 easy innings for Dave Williams. Come on, get this man some run support. 4 innings, no runs scored for Rocket City. The Trash Pandas are struggling. Looking for just a filthy strikeout from Dave. Slider, no. Makes contact. Moore can't catch it. It's over his head. Is Christian Moore wearing 94? Is that the number he likes? That's such an odd number. Speaking of prospects, Christian Moore is a guy that hopefully sees a bit more improvement this season. I really would like him to be at the majors pretty soon. He's 23, so he's only a year younger than Nolan Shonewell. This is grounded onto short. Is the play going to be made? On to second, on to first, out at first is the call. 6-4-3 double play. For what it's worth, though, Christian Moore, not a good fielder at all. So the more I think about him, and I do like him as a prospect, seems like a good player, but I think that I just really value defense. And he's not a great hitter. He's not a great fielder. Speaking of not great fielding, Jake Fox lets that hit the ground on his way to third. I need to be in my spot in case the throw is bad, and he's safe at third. That's a triple for Will Simpson. But anyway, what I was saying about Christian Moore, he's not a good fielder. I want to say that his fielding rating is sub 50. So I would consider trading him potentially, doing like some type of prospect swap maybe, finding a better second baseman in terms of fielding capabilities, but we'll see. He always has time to improve. Part of why we got guys like Castro and Nicky Lopez to hold him off for a while. This is over to third, play made at first, and that will end the 4th inning. So Williams, like I said, not a strikeout guy, but he is getting soft contact pretty often. Where is he walking to, by the way? He is on his way into right field. Okay, he figured it out. On to the 5th, still 0-0. We do have 4 hits, just no runs scored. Williams will continue. I don't get to make the decisions on pitching changes when I do player locks like this. So they're just allowing Dave to continue. He does have good stamina in the 80s. Energy's still right around 50%, so it's really not too bad. So just needs run support. He could get away with a victory today, but it's going to be another good outing for Dave Williams. Well, he allows his first walk. Now he faces Homer Bush. Wait, they have a Homer and a Simpson on the same team. Swing and a miss on the cutter. That doesn't happen super often. Now we'll try to get him with the curveball in the dirt, and he actually does swing over top of it. A strikeout for Dave Williams. Gregory Barrios to the plate. 2 gone for Dave. Ooh, that circle change at the top of the zone, but could hear that it wasn't great contact off the bat. And another good, solid inning of work for Dave Williams. Please get this man a run. Let's go. Christian Moore with an RBI double. Jake Fox an RBI single. It is 2-0 for the Trash Pandas. So now Dave on his way to a quality start and a victory. That is well struck over the head of the third baseman. That's Cutter Coffee, by the way. He is one of the better prospects that we have. Does seem like Dave is starting to lose some of the break. Oh my goodness. Can we keep that down, please? That one is popped way up. Christian Moore barely having to move. Steps over to his right, makes the play. 1 gone. This is also popped weakly. Left fielder did not have to move. Out number 2. I mean, this is going basically exactly how I described a Dave Williams outing. Oh my good Lord. Wait, what? That was so weird. Why were we in first person? The way that happened, I thought that got crushed, but never mind. It is going exactly like a Dave Williams outing. He just gets weak contact into the field and his players go and make plays. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're in first person. I must have fat fingered that. Play made by Christian Moore. We're doing a 7th inning for Dave Williams, huh? I wouldn't let him go further than 7. Oh my God. I'd maybe take him out after how badly he just missed that cutter. And that has to be gone. That is so gone. It's not gone. It's tracked down by Jake Fox in center field, as a matter of fact. That was crushed off the bat. 103 exit velo. Yeah, he is clearly losing the control. Just leaving things hanging over the heart of the plate. Thank God that's foul. And he does it again. That is just hanging over the heart of the plate. That one is going to get down for extra bases. It was hit pretty well, so no chance at a triple. It's going to be a double for Mac Horvath. I would shut Williams down. Personally, I'm shutting Dave Williams down. Nope, not going to happen. Homer Bush. Luckily, that's just not in the zone this time. If you're going to throw a bad pitch, at least have it be out of the zone. Oh my goodness, this is so scary. Just survive the 7th. Just survive the 7th, Dave. That's in the dirt. Runner's going to try to advance to third. Throw is not in time. Oh, I thought we got him. So a wild pitch from Dave Williams. Full count for Homer Bush. Splitter, grounded, chopped foul. The energy is basically depleted for Dave. The cutter is fouled as well. Please don't give up a 2-run bomb. 9th pitch of the AB. Popped. Softly to right field. And Dave is going to get through 7 scoreless innings. Please take him out of the game before he gets crushed. Thank God. They're taking him out of the game in the 8th inning. So a really good outing for Dave Williams, but definitely fizzled out there at the end. He was losing a lot of control. But we do get the victory, and it is a victory for Dave Williams nonetheless. 94 is actually the number Christian Moore is wearing. Dave Williams also gets player of the game, so let me know what you think of him. Like I said, he pitches to contact, so he did give up 7 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. He's never going to be a big strikeout guy. Weak contact is his MO. Now back to the Major League team, a series versus Seattle. An opportunity here to hop in with Taylor Ward. Let's just see what he can do on his own. And he gets the dub over the Mariners. Logan O'Hoppy's on a 10-game hitting streak here. We'll let him try to continue that on his own. We beat the Mariners again, 2 games in a row. 15-9 is our record so far this season. Can we sweep the Mariners? No, we do lose in what I believe was Reed Detmer's first outing at the major leagues this season, at least. Another series versus the Twins, this time at home. 11 for the victory for the Angels. Are we weirdly kind of a good team? And then we lose 0-5 to Minnesota in the second one. one. No injuries so far either. Again, knock on wood. Up to 50% scouting on Eric J and Juan Chavez, 6th and 7th on our boards respectively. So right now my plan would be to get Eric J with the 9th overall pick and then get Juan Chavez with the 46th overall pick. We're going to go ahead and figure out what Eric J and Juan Chavez are about, because right now those just feel like my first 2 picks. So we're going to finish scouting them. And our Discovery Scout did find 2 outfielders. Jerry Bouchard is one of them. Has great speed. He's a left fielder. He's Canadian. We love Canadians. And then Teddy Lynn, Theodore Lynn. Right now he's our draft rank, but that potential is just so bad. Can we take the series away from the Twins? Well, we've got an opportunity here to do so with Ben Joyce, although it is tied at 0-0 in the top of the 10th. Only 1 out needed to send it to the bottom of the 10th. See if the Angels can get the dub. It's Carlos Correa. Joyce is going to get the out on the very first pitch. Mickey Moniak in center makes the play. That'll bring us to the bottom of the 10th. Angels looking to walk it off. So we'll actually take over for the rest of this one, looking to walk off the Twins in extra innings and get yet another win on the season. The Angels may be shocking a lot of people so far this season. I was not expecting them to necessarily be any good. This is hit to opposite field and hit really well to opposite field. Taylor Ward, it's over the fence. A 2-run home run walk-off for Taylor Ward. And the Angels are going to win this one 2-0. That was some opposite field power from Taylor Ward, and that's got to feel good, throwing the helmet to the side and celebrating with your brothers. Taylor Ward, the only person on the team to get a hit today, by the way. Zach Neto's struggles continue. He is still a sub-200 batter so far this season. Trout has fallen off a cliff down to a 228. Logan O'Hoppe, super happy to see him at a 274. Also very happy to see Nolan Shonwell at a 277. Obviously, averages and everything, but when you're just looking at the box score, it can be a good measurement of how a team is playing, or how a player is playing, rather. Trout is regressing so badly. Guys, I think there needs to be a serious conversation about trading Trout this season. Like, is he still going to be pretty solid in a couple years? Probably. I don't think the regression is going to bring him down to like a 60 in the next like 2 seasons. He'll still be serviceable. He could play. But I also don't know if we're going to be contending for the next 2 seasons. We just don't have those kind of players. And like, we could trade everything away and try to make that happen, but that's kind of what the Angels have just been doing for a decade, and it has continued to not work. What do you think? Is this the year where we trade Trout away? Maybe he's finally like, yeah, I should leave. I should go to a contender. I should try to get that World Series before I retire. Or do we keep him and we just continue to let him get worse and worse and worse? He's obviously on a huge contract for a long time. Let me know what you think. Now, another series against Seattle in Seattle, another dub for the Angels. We are 18-11, everyone. We're still 3rd in the AL West, but we are 2nd in the wild card race, and another victory over the Mariners, who are hanging around 500. A loss in game number 3. Well, and there it is. Mike Trout getting injured. He strains his calf. He will be out for a few days. I'm going to put him on the 10-day for that. Blue Jays are offering another trade. They want Taylor Ward, and they're still trying to give us Clase. That's not even close to a fair trade. We do split the series with the Mariners. I know it's only a couple days for Trout. We are going to put him on the 10-day. We'll have George Valera take over DHing against righties and Gabriel Arias against lefties. And we'll also move some things around. I think Adele is performing very well in that 4-hole spot, so we're going to leave that alone. So it is the end of the first month of the season. Let's see how everyone is performing. I like to look at these player stats at the end of every month just to see how everyone is doing. And Zach Neto is so bad to start the year. It's crazy. He's still 2nd in RBIs even with this batting average. Joe Adele has been really good. That's really nice to see. Taylor Ward has 7 home runs already on the season. Where is this power coming from for Taylor Ward? Again, his trade stock is rising. Mike Trout up to a 281 average before that injury. So things are fluctuating a lot. It is obviously still April, so not everything is super set in stone yet. Joe Adele is batting a 280. Nicky Lopez has been pretty good. Let's sort by average and we'll go down the list. Logan O'Hoppe batting a 279. He has 10 RBIs. I wish his clutch were higher. Definitely something we're going to work on for him going into the future, but he's having a pretty solid season. Shonwell having a solid season so far. Nicky Lopez has been decent. He does have 13 RBIs, so he's been pretty good in those spots where he is with runners in scoring position. position. Mickey Moniak has been good. His slugging is an 844. Willie Castro may be a little disappointing so far, but 218 is not terrible through the first month of the season. Hilliard's playing well off the bench. Valera's playing well off the bench. Arias has been okay with a 200. Neto and Terens have been terrible. Joe Adell actually leads the team in WAR this season with a 1.2 so far. Moniak with a 1 and Ward with a 1. Ohapi, Lopez with 0.8, Trout with a 0.5 before his little injury. And Mickey Moniak is actually also leading the team in walks with 14. I was fully expecting to see this be Nolan Shonwell. He only has 10 on the season. If we look at pitching, John Means' ERA is high, but his whip is pretty good, which is interesting. His FIP, however, is a 6.1. My lord. Joey Lucchesi has been pretty bad so far, although this is the opposite case where his whip is high, but his ERA is good. Aaron Ashby has been incredible. That was a great trade I think we made in the offseason. Jose Soriano has been pretty bad. I mean, not horrendous. And then Reed Detmers again. I know you've only played 2 games, but why are you so bad at the majors and then you pitch so well at AAA? I just don't get it. Ben Joyce has been really good, no surprise. Miguel Castro has been bad, and he was bad in spring training too. Maybe there's a reason nobody was signing him in free agency. Quijada has brought his numbers back down to earth. Moreta has been solid. Connor Brogdon's been really good. Jack Kahanowicz has been really good again. This guy is so weird. He's regressing because his potential's a D. He just continues to be good. His numbers last year were solid too. I mean, I'll take a 3.8 ERA and a 1.36 whip from a 70 overall pitcher every season. And so far this year, he's probably been our best starter. Some of you guys in the comments have mentioned a YouTuber that I actually do subscribe to, Octagonal Gaming, and how he does his whole boom or bust system. I don't want to just straight up steal that, but I do want to know your guys' thoughts on a system like that, where if a player is playing well and he just continues to play well, do we up his potential? Chase Silseth has been bad, and Victor Gonzalez has been horrible. So the pitching, I think, has just been bad, honestly, so far this season. Maybe not a surprise, but I really thought our bullpen would have been much better. I guess Ashby is good. Joyce is good. We do have a few bullpen arms that are pitching really well. Connor Brogdon. For what it's worth, Zach Neto does still have minor league options. We could do exactly what we did with Detmers, maybe just send him down for a couple weeks, let him get his mojo back and bring him back up, but I think he'll figure it out. He's way too good of a player not to. Now, I'm really just going to highlight a few players that are playing well down at AA and AAA. Cutter Coffee, I think, is a guy to keep an eye on. He's been playing well. He's starting to improve a bit. Jake Fox is playing well, and Christian Moore has been okay. For pitchers, Dave Williams, who we just saw, has been absolutely on fire. Easily the best pitcher at AA for us right now. At AAA, Kyron Paris is playing extremely well. A 1000 OPS, 430 OBP. Anthony Rendon has been good at AAA. Everybody ignore this. The AAA team in general is not hitting very well. There's a couple guys playing super well in Paris and Rendon, but everyone else has been kind of mid to bad. Perez, 227 average, still super early in their season. Chase DeLauder is the most concerning one. He is very cold, and I think we are probably going to send him down to AA. And we have done exactly that. Chase DeLauder will now be plugging in at AA. And oh my God, the AAA pitching is horrendous. It's been so bad. Hans Kraus has been good in his 10 innings. Brock Burke has been good. Sean Anderson has been good. Walbert Urena has been good. Jason Emerson has been kind of mid. He is officially back to being a closer, but a lot of the starters have not been great. George Klassen in particular has been really bad, and we're going to do the same thing with him. We're sending him down to AA. We're not playing around with these prospects. We want them to improve, and if they are playing poorly, they're going to be moved around. So with that quick checkup out of the way, let's continue simulating another opportunity for me to blow a save with Ben Joyce. So have you noticed that we're getting a lot of these opportunities with Ben Joyce? And do you find that concerning? Because I personally do. Seems that many of these sort of jump in moments that we're getting are with Ben Joyce after having given up a couple of base hits in the bottom of the ninth in a close game, and now we have to come in to try to clean it up for him. Like, why does he keep ending up in these situations? The 1-2 pitch to Matt Olson on its way. Joyce misses pretty badly. Joyce has hit as high as I think 105.5 is the fastest pitch he's ever thrown, which is disgusting. Now he's got a full count, and he does get the swing and miss on the sinker. And Joyce will get away with a save versus the Braves. Now we're beating the World Series champions, huh? Maybe these Angels are the real deal. Game number 2, another similar situation. Michael Harris to the plate. 1 out, Connor Brogdon on the mound. Bases are juiced. We're up by a run. So we clearly are wanting the double play ball. Are we going to get it? This is going to be a tough one to turn. Arias is playing at third, and we do actually turn that double play. The 5-4-3 double play. And this is why we went out and got better infielders in the offseason. Arias is a good fielder. Nicky Lopez has a great arm at second base. And we make the play on just one pitch. And we do end up winning the game. Joe Adell hits a solo shot to make it 4-2. Joe Adell maybe having his breakout year. This Angels team just keeps winning. That was Adell's one hit on the day. Nolan Shonwell had a couple of them. Joey Lucchesi with a win. He allowed 2 earned runs in 6 innings. Not a bad outing from him. We are 21-13 on the season. Only a game back of the Rangers in first. I don't know about you guys, but I did not see this coming. And it's another day for scouting. So we do now have Eric J 100% scouted. Contact's not the best. Bit more of a power bat. Does look like he has pretty good vision. And he's got a strong arm playing third base and short. Pretty good fielder. Not bad speed. Just a super balanced player. 78-93 potential. 58-73 overall. I think he is another one of those can't miss prospects where if we take him at 9th overall, I think it's a good pick. Juan Chavez, though, draft rank 4 for us after being 100% scouted. Also super balanced. Well, I mean, it sort of already feels like we have our first round pick and our second round pick kind of locked up. But anyways, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, huge shout out to the channel members. Videos will be back to being 2 days early for channel members here pretty soon. I just have to get a lot more stockpiled before I can start doing that again, but it will happen later this week. And if you find yourself coming back on the regular and you are already subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot. I will see you guys in the next episode where we'll see if this Angels team can continue its winning ways.